The vast majority of behavior problems in the classroom involve minor breaches of discipline. Well, hurry up, don't take all day.
Tonight on Nightline, school kids punished with restraints or locked inside windowless rooms. Nightline investigates harsh discipline in schools across the country. For most kids, the worst they've got to fear from unruly behavior in class, it's a trip to the principal's office. But in some schools, students are receiving far more severe treatment, like being locked in windowless cells or stuffed into bags.
A new and growing controversy in American schools. They are called isolation rooms, and they're used to restrain some children.
Shocking cases like this one have been reported to Congress of special needs children under restraint getting hurt and even killed.
Including those like Andre with behavior disabilities, later tied Spread Eagle to a restraint point.
No. They had this really big man that pinned me to the ground.
They cross your arms and like hold you like that.
They'd lock you in there, and it was dark. There's no windows. You're just stuck in there for the whole day. It's scary, really scary.
Think about it. Just put the vision of your child, your grandchild, your next door neighbor child in this picture. These are 4 and 5 and 6-year-old kids. None of us would stand for this with our children or our grandchildren. Not for a minute.
You know what that reminds me of, folks? You know where I was last Saturday? I was in Guantanamo, Cuba. We went and saw the cells and stuff where, Chris, they keep the most dangerous terrorists in the world. And you know what their cells look like? That.
My story begins when I was in first grade in Lexington, Massachusetts School District, a very well-renowned school district. I was dragged down the hallway of the school by my wrists and thrown into a windowless, padded concrete room by myself, completely unsupervised for up to half an hour at a time.
All too often, students have died after being restrained with the approved techniques. The most recent, 16-year-old Corey Foster. A surveillance tape shows the young man as he apparently refused to stop playing basketball. And then, says his mother, Sheila Foster, they forced him to the ground.
There was nothing therapeutic about that.
A short time later, Corey Foster was dead.
Is it your sense that some of these people, they probably think they're doing the right thing, protecting the student, protecting others in that room, are just not well trained?
That's right. There's no training. There's often not school policies or state laws or federal laws setting the standards. So it's ad hoc. They figure out how to do it themselves.
He was a little fellow. He didn't like to wear a belt. When he was at church and stuff, he'd take and play football. He'd hold his pants up with one hand and run. When they send him to that timeout room, they call it seclusion room, I guess. The school system give him a real long rope to hold his pants up, and then he hung himself in that room. That was my sidekick. Maybe me and him was real close.
Think about your family. You don't have to take this to the abstract. These children cannot defend themselves against this practice, and their parents can't speak for them if they don't know.
The federal Keeping All Students Safe Act will end restraint and seclusion in schools. Join this groundbreaking movement and support this critical campaign now. Be the solution. Keep all students safe.